You might think Canada and the USA are almost the same, but you'd be surprised. While they share a border, their cultures are wildly different. From food to social norms and even the way they say sorry, Canada and the US have their own unique styles. Stay tuned as we reveal 10 shocking cultural differences between these two neighbors. Humor and politeness. Canadians are known for their politeness and self-deprecating humor. Meanwhile, Americans tend to be more direct and bold in their jokes. Canadians say sorry even when they're not at fault, while Americans don't hesitate to stand their ground. Ever heard a Canadian say, "I'm sorry for bumping into a chair"? Yep, it happens. Language and accents. Even though both countries speak English, there are big differences in accents and words. In Canada, people say "eh" at the end of sentences like, "Nice weather, eh?" Meanwhile, Americans use words like dude and awesome way more often. And don't forget spelling. Canada follows British English, so it's color instead of color and favorite instead of favorite. Food culture. Let's talk food. Canadians love their poutine, a delicious mix of fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Meanwhile, Americans go crazy over burgers, hot dogs, and BBQ. And when it comes to breakfast, Canada's maple syrup obsession is on another level. Fun fact, over 70% of the world's maple syrup comes from Canada. Healthcare system. Here's a serious one, healthcare. Canada has universal healthcare, meaning basic medical services are free for residents. In the USA, healthcare is mostly private and expensive. Americans have to deal with high insurance costs, while Canadians enjoy more affordable medical care. Sports and national identity. What's the biggest sport in the USA? Football. In Canada, hockey. Canadians take their hockey very seriously, and the national pride around teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs is huge. Meanwhile, the USA dominates sports like basketball, baseball, and American football. B. College and education. Education is another big difference. American universities are some of the most expensive in the world, while Canadian universities are much cheaper. That's why many Americans try to study in Canada to save money. Gun laws and safety. This is one of the most debated topics, gun laws. In the USA, owning a gun is a constitutional right. Meanwhile, Canada has much stricter gun control laws. This difference in policies leads to major cultural contrasts between the two nations. Holidays and celebrations. Even holidays are different. Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving in October, while Americans celebrate it in November. Also, Canada has Boxing Day on December 26th, while the USA goes all out on Black Friday. Measurement system. Ever notice that Canadians use kilometers while Americans use miles? That's because Canada follows the metric system, while the USA sticks to the imperial system. That means Celsius versus Fahrenheit, kilograms versus pounds, and liters versus gallons. Attitude towards work and life. Finally, let's talk about work culture. Americans are known for hustle culture, often working longer hours with fewer vacations. In Canada, there's a stronger emphasis on work-life balance and paid leave. Canadians get more vacation days on average than Americans. So, what do you think? Which country's culture do you prefer? Let us know in the comments.